the Give First contest. We've got the winner in the studio today, and you're going to be talking to him live in just a moment on Saturday Morning Marketing Smarties. So funny, I've got everything broadcasting it back at me. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Saturday Morning Marketing Smarties. I know that it's Saturday morning only in certain areas of the world, specifically Pacific Standard Time. And when this show is over, it won't be Saturday morning or this particular Saturday morning anywhere in the world. But we're happy to bring you the broadcast live from Southern California and also from, Ohio and the Central California, the Bay Area, and also Southern California. So anyway, we're coming at you from all over the place. And even though I'm sitting perhaps in Southern California, we represent a vast array of locations across the nation. Sometimes we have people from India that participating in these hangouts. So I feel very proud that we can bring you that kind of a concept. Roland from MINMAX Media, bringing you the minimum you need for maximum impact, sponsoring the DIY live streaming show.com website and Saturday Morning Marketing Smarties. So if anyone's in the audience, apparently we've got a few people in the audience. Thank you very much for showing up and saying hi. I'd like you to check in either in YouTube or also on the runway here, the discussion, the lineup in the DIY live streaming show website. So say hi, tell us who you are, and be prepared to meet some very cool people today. It's a special episode, and to help me produce the show is Tim Longwell, and we'd like you to come on board and say hi real quick and tell us a little bit about yourself, Tim.
Morning, everyone. And from afternoon, just starting here in southeastern Oklahoma. And I'm Tim Longwell with Longwell Art, where we help you regain and reignite your creativity for your health and happiness.
Very good. And thank you, Tim. Tim has been we call him the comment wrangler, and he is going to be fielding concepts from the field, from both YouTube and my website. And the comments delivered there, he's going to be repurposing into a production that goes right into this video. So that's part of what he does. But the show today is dedicated to a couple of things. One, we're going to announce to you and introduce you to the winner of the Give First contest. And we'll tell you why he won. And we're going to introduce you to him. And you're going to be able to ask him questions. And we're going to find out more about him and who he is. But before we do that, we're going to ask him to turn his mic on because I'm going to introduce him right now. So, ladies and gentlemen, the winner of our Give First contest, based on many things, is Aaron Avila. Aaron, come on board and say hi and tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
All right. First, I would like to warn the audience. I have a speech deficit known as dyslexia. So I have to speak extremely slow, and it comes with a hearing deficit. So hello everybody.
Thank you, Aaron. And let me just give you the heads up that Aaron is an experienced live streamer. You've been doing these recordings for a while now, and I know that you're getting pretty good at what you do. As a matter of fact, you're better than OBS than I am. OBS being the open broadcasting concept that is a free encoding device that you can use to do live streaming in YouTube. And you're actually doing that before I ever talked to you and doing your own show. And you've been streaming for something like 5 months, haven't you?
That's correct. About 5 months.
Okay. So there are lots of reasons that I have chosen you to receive this prize and why you've been awarded the Give First contest winner. And I'll go over those things. But the first thing I want everyone to understand is something about your story and what it is, where you come from, how you got to where you are right this moment, because you've had quite a journey. And without, the whole episode today could be just talking about segments of your journey. I know it's too much to put into an hour, but could you tell our listening audience a little bit about what you've been through and how you arrived at where you're at today and what you're doing?
Well, first of all, I'm 7 years post-stroke. On September 10th or September 17th, 2010, I suffered a category 5 brain aneurysm. And then a week later, I suffered a category 5 stroke caused by the brain aneurysm. And it has been, stroke is not about just what happened to me. It's my wife, it's my son, it's my family. It's ripple effect, as you know, Roland, because I remember you've had 2 or 3 or something. Have you had 2 or 3 strokes?
That's correct. Actually, I've had an uncountable set of minor strokes, but I have 3 significant ones, and the third one left me in a wheelchair. So yes, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. So the amazing thing is, because of this format, because of live streaming, because of the internet, I have not been able to do anything pretty much like go on playing tennis, because I'm also wheelchair bound. I have been for 7 years now. But I live behind the computer. The reason I can use OBS like I do, the reason I live stream shows like I do, is really because I have nothing else to do. I was a 3-handicap golfer, okay? And if anybody knows golf, 3-handicap is near scratch golfer. I was good. I enjoyed it. But I don't look back on what I lost. I'm excited about where I'm going. I'm excited about calibrating men like you, Roland, like Tim, like Professor Nez, Owen Video, Nick. I could go on. I won't take up any more time. But there are so many people out there that have influenced me at what I am today. I have no regrets of what happened. Absolutely none.
That's fabulous. And I'm going to come back to you with a very specific question that you've been dealing with yourself for a while now, and in a moment. But I'm going to tell everybody the reasons that you got selected for the prize, and I'll be able to divulge a little bit more into the background of who you are. But before we go on, we're going to take what Tim's delivering here, a comment from the field from one of our audience members.
It's letting you know who you have here with us today. You have Paul Murray, Andrew Hatchett, Roland Fusang, Wawek, and I never say all of his name right, so I'm going to be kind and not butcher it for him, and Barbara Quick so far. And we want to thank them for coming along.
Thank you, Tim, and thank all of you for showing up and being here. These are, I consider all the people, they're friends, And by the way, we got 11 viewers presently, and that's more than we've had for a while. So I'm very happy that we're able to produce that kind of a response today, especially. So
And I
everybody,
forgot Isaac's watching too. He's over there.
oh, cool. And you know, if you're in the audience, just say hi and tell everybody who you are. Sometimes your fellow audience members are like, oh, that's so and so, and might break into a side conversation. I encourage that, and I want you guys to communicate. And if we help you and encourage you to communicate with each other, great. Because one of the key elements to this whole system of what we're doing is we want to encourage you, get a camera, get a mic, and express yourself. Talk to people, communicate, build relationships, and do that. And that's what this show really at the core foundation is all about. Okay, so before I ask you your question, I wanted to give you several reasons why you were selected for the prize, Aaron. And the first thing is, well, look at the name of the contest, Give First Campaign. And when I was analyzing this, and I took some notes here, the one thing that I realized is that you are a giver. Your heart is in the right place, and your goal, ultimately, the goal that you have set for yourself emphasizes the fact that you want to be in a place to give back to people and to encourage people and be an inspiration to them. And that's one of the very first things that I got from you. Now, the second thing that I noted was you're already in motion. You're not waiting for somebody. You're not looking for excuses why I can't do it yet because we've all got those things. We all have these things that feed this sense of I'm not ready yet, or I'm not sure that I'll be received well. All the elements of doubt that can come in, reaffirmed by our own self thinking and our self speak. You don't have that because you're in motion. You're doing, and what we talk about all the time is the quote from Mike Dooley that he uses all the time. That he basically bases his ministry, if you will. He's a law of attraction enthusiast and leader. But he says, do what you can with what you've got from where you are. And that's what I do, and that's what you do. And I really appreciate the fact that you took the bull by the horns, and you're live streaming. Do you know everything about live streaming? No, I don't either. But you know a lot more than a lot of people just because you got out there and got started and you're doing it. So I really appreciate the fact that you're in motion, which shows me that you're beyond motivation. There's motivation and there's inspiration, and you're driven by the inspiration because I can tell it's a fire that never goes away. It's always a push with you, and it's always an expanding into this joy of expression. So that's another thing that I sensed in you. The third thing, before I go on, and then I'm going to ask you this question. The third thing is that you are clear on one important thing, and that is your why you're doing it. I know why you're doing it. First of all, you're giving back to your family and friends that have supported you. You've been a stroke survivor for 7 years, and now you're striving to turn people into stroke thrivers, and that's part of your focus. But the concept that you have is to give back. And so it really fits into everything that I've been trying to do, to say, I'm having a give first contest. You know, it's like I named the thing after what it is that I recognize in you. So you've got the inspiration and you're motivated. You're very clear on what you're trying to achieve, and I'm going to help you do it. So anyway, these are the reasons that you were selected for this prize. There were several people who were definitely worthy of being awarded the same award, but their purposes were maybe not as clear. Their inspiration was not grounded, and they certainly were not in motion. So it would have been a different guiding process for me. it would have been a different building process. And I anticipated this, and I set it up so that September, we make our choice, and then we go October, November, December, training, development, make sure the tools are all set, etc., learning, practice, setting up the foundation, the website and stuff. And then in January, the plan was to start a show. I don't think that we're even going to be waiting that long. So it's almost like, as I say, usually you can't steer a parked car. Well, this car is in motion, so all we got to do is grab the steering wheel and apply some gas. So my question for you, your voice. You've been on a mission to find your voice, and this, I want you to tell everybody what you think. The concept of finding your voice, what it is, and how you found yours, what it feels like, and what it's developing, what it's becoming in your life right now.
Well, I would have to say you taught me the word genuine. And that really, and profession is. To be the genuine self, to be who I am. I am what I am. I am what I am. I have one objective, and I think I attracted you, Roland. I have one objective. That's to make the world a better place. And really, for me to find my voice, and I just found it thanks to Profession S. Thank you to you, Roland. I feel like I'm coming to know my voice. And knowing your voice, being comfortable with who you are, being genuine. If I was to pick one thing that is pretty much catapulted me or instilled a confidence in me, is that I am genuine. I am what you see. I am not phony. I'm not there to put on a show and entertain you. I'm not trying to, whatever. I am what I am. And hopefully, if you find something in me that is worthy of looking at and maybe even becoming a fan of, then I'll do that. That's what I want to do, because I think me and my team, because I do have my family and friends behind me, we would use this platform, Stroke TV, within the platform you've developed, Roland, to make the world a better place. We will help people. My goal is to help people worldwide someday.
Well, the primary message of today, even in the advertising world, is you identify a problem, you come up with a solution, and you deliver that solution to the people. And so it's like you're solving problems for people. So the basic theory, even in advertising, is a good one. But the issue here is we're not selling something for the sake of selling something to make a profit. We are looking to help people improve their lives and have some hope, and to inspire them to strive and thrive beyond whatever it is that they have been afflicted with. And one of the things that I wanted to talk about with you is the definition of these three things, because part of your developmental focus is a concept of taking stroke victims and moving them to stroke survivors and moving them further to stroke thrivers. So we've got stroke victims, survivors, and thrivers. And I would like to know, to take this apart piece by piece and talk about how is it that you would describe or define a victim?
Well, I can break down. I've been doing this. We have a Stroke TV has an affiliate stroke support network of close to 3,000 members right now from all over the world. We currently have that. It's called Second Chance Stroke Thrivers. And I can break down the stroke community into three categories. And this is pretty much true for any plight a person can suffer. There is 1, stroke victim, 2, stroke survivor, and 3, stroke thriver. All 3 have had catastrophic, life-changing strokes. All 3 end up in the dark valley of darkness, dark energy down the bottom of the valley. Now, a stroke victim lives there. He stays there, stroke victim, lives in the bottom of the valley, always looking back at what he lost, always looking back at their life with almost a victim mentality. I don't know to tell you. Then there's the stroke survivor. Now the stroke survivor will climb up the hill, up the mountain, probably about halfway. But the problem is the stroke survivor just hovers there. He lives halfway up, never really achieving his or her ultimate life-changing life back, getting your life back. And then there's stroke thriver. And the stroke thriver will climb the very pinnacle, the very top of the mountain, where the air is clean, where the eagle soars free, where the sun warms their face. That is what Stroke TV and I would like to do for the world, because there are over 50 million stroke survivors in the world right now. I want them to realize that they can have their life again after a purpose. So I mean, if I was to pick one thing that stroke does to most people, it strips them of their purpose. It strips them of their value as a person. And you can actually attain that, get that back. But it's not how normal way of thinking does. You get it back by giving, by us doing what we're doing right now, by learning how to live stream, learning how to reach your hand out and grab that stroke survivor and make him become a stroke thriver. Help him. Give him the tools to become a stroke thriver. And it is my goal to give it is Stroke TV's goal, passion, to give them the tools to go from stroke survivor to stroke thriver and to get their life back.
That's beautiful stuff. And this is what I'm focused on when I said that you are very clear on your purpose and you're clear on your objective and your cause and your whole why. The reason why you're doing it is clear. And so your purpose as far as doing this and the reason you're doing it is all set up. It's enough to feed you for the entire stretch of the journey of what you're doing. And so that was very clearly an easy decision for me. Once I get to know you, watched a couple of your video productions and saw where your heart and soul was, that was an easy decision for me. So thank you very much for applying for the award, and I'm very, very happy to give it to you. So let's take a look at who's in the audience right now. Wiwek, it is a very hard name. Wiwekanen Baindorf Rao. And I think I did fairly decent justice to this. A good friend from ours who happens to be in the UK right now. Wiwek is out there and he's commenting, and I thank you very much for your active participation in the chat, because this program is based on the chat. Very much so. Of course, we have our guests and we have our discussion that we have here, but the feedback from the audience is very important to me. So thank you very much. Roz Boundy from Down Under, South Australia, and Barbara Quick is from central or slightly the middle of California or so, up not that far from the Bay Area, but towards that direction. Lowell Ann Fulsang runs her own show, and you have participated in that once. I think you dropped in actually showed up on Roland's show on Tuesday one day. So that was fun. And thank you very much for showing up and commenting. And we appreciate your participation. So one of the things that happened today was that I couldn't get my lower third to work. My Hangout toolbox decided today I'm not going to work for you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a brief moment. And no, I don't want to play that song. Play some music. Share my screen. And for a moment, just brand my show. Since I can't show you the lower third, I'm just going to show you the whole screen. And one of the things I love about this, concept of the program is that I can share screen and I can display comments from the people, and I can share banners that I create custom-wise, so that you could do this too if you use Hangouts on Air. And a couple of simple facilities, we can do this very same thing. Anyway, taking a deep breath from where we are there and coming back to you, Aaron, what is the concept of your TV show and where do you see it going? Because the first thing is I will be putting some brakes on you because you want to go worldwide, blast out, and have a US division and a Europe division, and you want to be all over the world like that. And I'm going to be probably redirecting your focus on having one program that you display globally from one source. But that's just a start. It's got the potential to go all over the place. And you've even mentioned other people, even possibly myself, having a designated time to broadcast on your channel every week. So there's this possibility of having many stroke survivors and thrivers, stars, having their own shows on your channel. So why don't you give people the idea of what you have and what your goal is for Stroke TV?
Well, I think first of all, Tim says it the best when he talks about reigniting your creativity. I'm ignited. I'm on fire, no question. My creativity, my creative brain was given to me almost as a gift through brain aneurysm and stroke. Tim and I have had conversations about the creative brain. And I see Stroke TV becoming, it is more than what even I can concept. It is going to be a place. I really truly believe, you guys, that Stroke TV, it will change the world someday. I really truly believe that with all my heart. And that I see it becoming a platform for stroke survivors, and even that my son Ryan Avila has starting a thing for he's a caregiver, and he started I'm going to plug his page over there by me. He is starting a movement called I Care For You. So if you in Facebook search I Care For You, okay, and it is the apple I, the little I, capital CARE, number 4, W, I Care For You. And so he is going to take care of the caregivers. And his slogan is maintain power, positive, and progressive. He wants us to say powerful, positive, and progressive. And I think that Stroke TV will, my vision, my dream is to have Stroke TV help people. That's the bottom line, Roland. Help stroke, where I see it has become a focal point for the whole community on a global level.
I love it. And I wanted to just grab a couple minutes of your show to focus on this concept of um, I I had a third stroke that left me in a wheelchair too. I've been in the wheelchair for 5 years, going on 6 years in March. But the whole concept of victim never actually grabbed me. I did spend 3 months in a bed other than my own, and it was quite an experience. I wrote a book on it, but the concept, it jerks you out of the reality that you think your world is all about. You got this mental attitude set about, yes, like as Aaron was saying, he was avid golfer and involved in a lot of things. Well, I was a racquetball player. I played the guitar in a rock band. I did a lot of things. I networked physically around Southern California. There were a lot of things that I did, and driving a car, but none of that's happening now. It came to an absolute grinding stop in a split second. And all of a sudden it was like, man, your world's changed forever. And when people go through this, and as Aaron brought out, millions of people have gone through this, you're changing in a split second. You have no choice. Everything changes. And it strips you, as he said, of the value system that you once had, and it puts everything into a different perspective. First of all, you start questioning whether you have enough hope to even survive. You question whether you believe in God. You question these things. Why me? Why did these things happen? And for me, I got over that quickly, but I don't think most people do. Even though I was in the bed, even though I was immobilized, couldn't even turn myself on my side to lay there and sleep for a while. There are a lot of things that I could not do. And you dive deeply into your brain and you think about life. And even from that standpoint, on the early on stages, and by the way, I had lots of support from my wife. So I can just imagine what your wife, as a counterpart to your experience, is going through. And I want to commend Rebecca for hanging in there and being the support that she has been for you. Because I know that she loves you, and I know that she's been a great source of support and energy for you. And I'm going to take that step further in a second. But anyway, thank you, Rebecca. Thank you very much. We want to acknowledge that. And thank you, Barbara, in my life for being who you are, because that's a whole another story, right? But I wanted to even take it beyond that. Your support group from your family, this changed your son's life vividly, because your son, and his name is Ryan, and I want to show everybody. I'm going to do a screen share of Ryan's page in Facebook. And here it is. Okay, so we're going to display this so everybody can see that. You want to go to Facebook, and if you just search in the search there, small I, care for you, CARE, the number 4, you. Then you'll bring up I Care for You community, founded by Ryan Avila, and that's Aaron's son. And he's been a big factor in this. He became the breadwinner for the family and trying to a caregiver for his father. And a lot of things changed in his life. He was 16 going on 17 when all this came down. That is, I mean, literally too young for him to have the burden that was set upon him. Opinion, that's just my opinion, but I mean, a lot of people would agree. But what I've sensed and what I've seen from this whole experience is that, Ryan, you became a man like that. You stepped up to the plate and did what needed to be done. And furthermore, you still have a good relationship with your father. This type of thing could have destroyed relationships and rips apart families. And part of that is the awareness of the family and the strength of the bond of the love. But I mean, when a family is family, there's a certain amount of devotion that is required, But beyond that, it really takes the individual to step up and to commit. I am committing myself as part of this family. I'm going to do what needs to be done. And you didn't have a normal childhood from 17 on, Ryan, but you've had a unique life, and now you're running this community about I care for you, and this focuses on the concept that not just the victims of stroke or other afflictions of in general, it's not just the people who are afflicted directly, it's the people around them, and the surrounding community and the family members and the people that the individual lives with. Everything changes. So when we look at this community and says, I care for you, a community, a support community for caregivers worldwide. Well, the term caregiver is self-explanatory. If you really care and you give of that, you are a special person. Okay, but this is a community of these people, because indeed it takes support for the people who give the care as well as a person who is afflicted. And the caregivers need their support too. They need the love, the attention, and the recognition and acknowledgement that they're giving. That this whole world, this whole community network and universe is based on people who give. Because what if you removed giving from the equation? What if there was no giving in the world? Well, none of us would be here probably. We couldn't exist without the caregivers. So as a factor, what Ryan is supporting here is the heart and soul and lifeblood of existence. So I commend you, Ryan. Thank you very much for doing what you're doing. And we are going to have you on this show and talk about what you're doing in social media for your outreach and what you're doing there, and find out more about your perspective and your life yourself. So I want to have that discussion with you real soon, and we'll get you on the show in the near future. But anyway, I don't want to dominate this show. Obviously, I'm a talk box today, but I want to get back to you, Aaron. And we talked about the family changes. Did you want to have anything to add? Because I know that from your perspective, you experienced it firsthand, and you have your thoughts.
Well, I can't help but make really being a stroke survivor really is not about me. It's about, I hate to make the show about Ryan, but I mean, come on, without caregivers, there would be no stroke survivors. Without caregivers. So my heart, my motivation, my passion is to give stroke survivors help, hope, purpose, love, compassion. When I first had my stroke, it was probably the most darkest time. I was suicidal. I was Roland more victim-like. I went through that stage of victimness. Because what happens is, with stroke, literally, as fast as lightning strikes, I became a stroke survivor. And there are so many people out there in the world, like I said, over 50 million of us, that as fast as lightning strikes, they became a stroke survivor. But the community is far bigger than that. I call it the ripple effect of stroke. That it is not just me that is a stroke survivor. It is my wife. It is my son. It is my aunt. It is my uncles. It's everybody, my mom, my dad. They're all stroke survivors, just a different type. Oh, they have not actually had the physical stroke, but the cataclysmic ripple effect of stroke is huge, as you know, Roland. It's huge.
Absolutely. And I just wanted to present quickly a comment from the field. This is Roland Full saying, says, Aaron Avila, I love your vision. Congrats on your award. So thank you, Lowell Ann, for your comment there. She's the one who produced the show on Tuesdays, the one that you joined us and was on the Tuesday Success Circle. And that's a very worthy show, and more people should participate and watch her channel. You can be there by going to lowelann.com, LOWELLANN.com. And it's navigate your way around, find the show, and join them on that. Let's see what Tim's bringing to the concept here.
I was working on bringing that up when you dropped yours in. Additionally, Roland adds the comment, it's so great that you recognize your caregivers, Roland. And I'm sure after hearing Aaron, she feels the same way for Aaron. And Andrew Hatchett says, congrats, Aaron. Roland, one of, if not the most inspiring show you've done.
Huh?
Roland, don't. Oh, God. Okay, I must have been right now. Roland has a condition known in the stroke world as PBA. It's and he's beginning to cry. And if he keeps up, he's going to make me start crying, and then we're going to make a cry fest.
I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you if it's crying or laughing. I really don't know. But it's this thing that takes over. And obviously, I'm smiling now, so I'm not in a bad mood. But I get emotional a bit, and this happens. Whatever it is, it has happened. Thank you very much.
There he goes.
Well,
how can you not realize the emotion, the energy that is forming right here, right now?
Yeah.
What we're saying, it feels like a caterpillar getting ready to turn into a butterfly. And the caterpillar is twisting and turning and starting right here, right now, this very second. But it feels like caterpillar is morphing into a butterfly. So
absolutely.
I feel like we're going, audience, everybody is going to be turning into butterflies.
Yeah.
We're all caterpillars.
Anyway, I really appreciate that, Andy, and thank you very much for your comment. What is happening here is I'm finding a direction as well as Aaron. And the show has been going on for 3 years. Saturday Morning Marketing Smarties. And I'm always telling people, authenticity, being genuine, drop the sales pitch, just tell everybody who you are, what you do, and give them an education that helps them, whether they buy your services or not, just help people. And we focus on that. And I'm very much a believer, and I think so is Aaron, that if you do what you love, eventually you get paid for it. You don't have to worry about the income, the money, the return on investment, because if you're in the right vein, you're displaying the right energy, and your heart and soul is in the right place, the universe takes care of the rest and finds a way to compensate you. Let's see what Tim's bringing.
Roz Boundy says, stroke certainly does have an impact as a further reach other than just the stroke survivors themselves. For those as direct caregivers, family, and community that is around you.
Absolutely.
So she's acknowledging the points that you've been bringing out.
Absolutely. And this concept goes beyond the concept of strokes. People who are disabled in any way, obviously this type of life experience affects your entire life and all of those around you. When you have these bonds or relationships, they cannot help but be affected. So it's a joint journey, and it's a joint venture when you're in life and these things happen. But amazingly, when they happen to you and they happen to people in your life, it gives you the opportunity to step up and do something different than you would have if it hadn't happened to you. So what Aaron was stressing a little while ago is like he's not dwelling on the negative of, well, this is what he left behind and he can't golf and can't do these things. He's taking it from where he is, going back to Mike Dooley's statement about do what you can with what you've got from where you are. And he's moving forward from his position, and he's not looking at all the stuff that he can't do. He's looking at the stuff that he can do, and at this point, what he wants to do to help inspire other people to do the same. So we are definitely more than strivers and survivors. We are thrivers. I'm actually expanding into what I'm doing tremendously from this wheelchair, and I'm very, very happy. I'm one of the happiest people you know. I don't care who you are, but I'm one of the happiest people you know. And I'm in the point of expressing myself profusely, which is why I don't do as much listening as I used to. I'm actually a very good listener, but at some point we have to find our voice. And that's basically what you've done, Aaron. And I congratulate you on that, because what I do sense is that you are motivated and you have a purpose. And now you have a channel. And I think that now you've got a way, and I'm very happy to be jumping on board and helping out this cause completely. So if I'm going to give an award worth what I deem as significant, I'm glad it went to you. And I'm glad to be partnering up.
I would like to say I'm humbled by all this happening. To meet you, Roland, to meet you, Tim, to have audience members out there listen to what we're saying. To me, that's what our life has really become, Roland, is helping people. And that really is what we're going to do. And it's really what we're doing right now, is helping people. Inspiring.
I agree. Hang on one second, sorry.
And with this platform that I won, because Roland, it's huge for me to be able to live stream. Tim is going to have to teach me to sleep, because my good brain is going to go crazy with this new platform. So Tim is going to have to tell me, because my creative brain is already on fire. Once I get the new platform that I won and begin to live stream, you guys are going to pull me off the air, because I'm going to go wild with it.
Well, I think that the opportunity is that you're going to have 24/7 where you can live stream if you want to. And the funny thing is, as a base start, it's not going to hardly cost you anything to do it. One of the magic things about what we do is that we can do this on a shoestring budget and less. Basically, what I'm building as a motto for the show, specifically for the show, because my concept for MINMAX Media is the minimum you need, maximum impact. But for this show, the show's message is get a camera, get a mic, and express yourself. And this is stuff that you've already done. You've already crossed that hurdle. You've got your camera, you've got your mic, you're expressing yourself profusely. And I love it, because I'll be around the clock some point in time, and all of a sudden Aaron's got another publication that he put to the internet, and he's got a new video in your Blogspot TV. And by the way, let me see if I can find this. Whoops.
It would be kind of fun, Roland, if you could play my Andrew. Can you play the Andrew video? My Andrew video.
I can't do that because YouTube video will not be appropriate to be played.
OBS would. OBS can do it easily.
Well, that's a different subject altogether, actually.
It has to do with your copyright of intellectual property.
Oh,
Yes.
That's my brother Tom and nothing.
So this is your blog spot here, stroketv.blogspot.com. If you want to see what Aaron has been doing for months now. Drop into this and you'll see how prolific he is in generating blog copy and a lot of interesting stuff. He's got a letter that his son wrote in 2011. He's got things that he's mentioned about other people and celebrities even that have had strokes and step beyond that, and a lot of experiences. So go to stroketv.blogspot.com and read up on Aaron, and I'm sure that he'll appreciate that. So what's coming down the pipe with your comments there?
He's got a YouTube viewer, Gualala Smooth, and I did comment their name on, but I missed right now.
I think that's somebody.
Aaron is coming out his cave.
Can I interrupt for a second?
Yes, sir.
This man right here that just left that comment, his name is Tom I Love. Tom I Love, I've known for almost 30 years. Him and I lost contact probably about almost 30 years ago. I've known him probably 40 years, I think about that. But him and I, he found out he was a close friend of mine before my stroke. I used to live in the little town called Valhalla. And he heard about my plight, heard about my stroke, heard about me being wheelchair-bound. He was filled with a compassion and love that was life-changing for me and for my family. And he has stepped up and just showed love and compassion. And I want the world to know that Tom I Love in my book has really played us, and he is my brother. When he says he is coming out of my cave. You know, as you know, Roland, stroke has a way of making you recluse. I, for the longest time, lived recluse. Stroke wants to isolate you and keep you shut in. Basically, keep you from being part of a community, of the world, of life. And Tom I Love, when pretty much nobody believed in my vision of Stroke TV and helping people and being global and being that way, Tom I Love believed in me. He sat down and showed me love and compassion. I mean, I cannot tell you what Tom, when he says you're coming out of your cave, meaning you're living that recluse, closed, self-absorbed, selfish life, and you are coming out of your cave. Let me tell you what I think anybody, stroke survivor, anybody going through any type of catastrophic illness, is if you take your eyes off yourself and begin to turn your eyes on helping other people of the same plight, you begin to come out of your cave. And that's what Tom is talking about. We are coming out, you Roland right now, Tim right now, we are coming out of our cave. We are shouting help. We're here to help you. We're here to help you, world. We're here to inspire you. So we want to come out of our cave. And I appreciate and humbled by your presence. And just to have Tom I Love make that comment live on the air, and for him to be there with me just tickles me pink.
The name that Aaron has mentioned is Tom I Love, and I wasn't sure whether the first letter was an L or an I, but apparently from your pronunciation, it's Tom I Love. And Tom, from reading the various blogs and a couple of the videos from Aaron, you have definitely played a significant part in inspiring him and encouraging him in his recovery. So thank you very much for being a second line caregiver that's been very significant in Aaron's life. And we all have these people. If sometimes it doesn't take, you don't have to hand somebody a check for $1,000 to improve their life. Sometimes the letter, the phone call, the message, the encouragement, and then to know that you actually see somebody, you see and recognize and acknowledge that they have this affliction, and a few words of encouragement and giving them the concept and helping them with the vision to see light in the midst of darkness, and that can bring them out of it. And so what we go by so much, and I talk about this all the time, we have the premise of, in the law of attraction, what you think about, you bring about. We become what we think about. Buddha said, we are what we think. We are a result of everything that we have thought. And so if we control our mind, if we are encouraging in our thoughts, and if we're inspirational in our thoughts, that's the direction that our life has to follow. It has to. It has no choice. And people think, well, how'd you get your stroke then and everything else? Well, we could answer that in the midst of things like some people would say, well, God has greater plans or whatever. The main thing is that this is an opportunity for us, Aaron and myself, to express ourselves from this point at which we are and moving onward, not looking back, not crying on somebody's shoulder, not doing the woe is me, and not with the eyes on ourselves and our own problems, as Aaron says, but we reach out and beyond and help educate people, encourage people, and make their world a better place. And it goes back to what right now is the time that I'm forget his name. Zig Ziglar said, and that is, you can have everything in this life that you want if you will just help enough other people get what they want. And what they want is to be happy. The money, that seems to be what people focus on. The big house and the car, that seems to be what they think is going to make us happy. But they're only representative of what it means to be happy. Being happy trumps all of that, and it doesn't care. It doesn't matter what you have or what you've got or anything. If you're happy, everything else will work out. But your world will take shape from your happiness. It'll also take shape from your sadness. So you got to decide where you're gonna live, what you're gonna be. That's a decision that each of us make. So Tom Iliff, you are also held up high along with the wives and the sons and the people around us. You might think that you're on the outskirts and you're on the periphery of the caregiving, but look at the significance that you've had in Aaron's life. So don't discount the telephone calls and the little pats on the back and the visits with a smile and the little bit of words of encouragement that you can offer can make a big, big difference. So be a caregiver and join the ranks of that positive energy. So we're getting to the end of our hour, and we will be wrapping up soon. But I was wondering if we wanted to turn this back over to Aaron a bit and ask you if there's anything else that you want to add about the experience that you've been through and what's happening. What are you thinking about right now?
I got one word, Roland: hope, love, attitude, love and hope. Those two forces, those two energy forces in the world, love and hope. If we can get love, Roland, if we can take this love energy I know you're full of, and if I can take this love energy that I know I'm full of, and share with the world, and teach them that they can have love energy in their life as a stroke survivor, as a cancer survivor, or anybody that's gone through anything. There is hope. Your purpose, our purpose, if I just say one purpose in life, is to help our fellow man. That's our purpose. It's not to get the big fancy car. It's not to get the big house. That is really what doesn't bring us satisfaction and purpose. It is helping others make the world a better place. That is really what life is all about. Really making the world a better place for the other people.
I love it, Aaron. And I'm very happy to have awarded you this prize. I'm going to be working. It's going to be not just a thing that I hand Aaron and then turn him loose. It's going to be something that I'm personally involved in and will be investing a significant part of my week supporting the whole movement. And as it's meant to be, as I said, I'm kind of finding my place within this whole thing. And that's what this contest has done for me. It's just completely opened a whole new door. And so we're going to be doing that and seeing what happens from here. We're all growing. We're all doing something new. And I want to be able to thank Tim before I forget for wrangling and supporting the show every week as you do. Thank you very much, my friend. And I want to thank the people in the audience for your participation. I really appreciate you showing up, commenting, and being supportive of this whole concept. And we're basically going to sign off now as Roland from Saturday Morning Marketing Smarties and MINMAX Media and the DIY Livestreaming Show.com and all our production today based on the concept of giving, and it's been a pleasure. So let me remind you of just one thing. Get a camera and a mic and express yourself. Thanks a lot for participating today. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you.